A mesothelioma cure. Is there such a thing? If you have mesothelioma, you probably have one question on your mind. Can it be cured? Today, I'm here to give you the answer backed by science. And then I'll show you what some patients are doing to survive for years or even decades, even when their doctors gave them just a few short months to live. Hi, I'm Deborah from Surviving Mesothelioma. For almost 20 years, we have helped mesothelioma patients across the world improve their quality of life. We work directly with Paul Kraus, who became the longest living mesothelioma survivor in the world, living 27 years after his diagnoses. Okay, in the next few minutes, I will show you the truth about mesothelioma cures and survival backed by real patient cases. The exact 3-step framework that long-term survivors used, and then a free resource that has helped over 18,000 mesothelioma patients improve their quality of life. Okay, so let's get back to the big question. Is there a cure for mesothelioma? Here's the reality. Unfortunately, there is no known cure for mesothelioma, and anyone who tells you different is lying. But some patients have figured out a way to live with mesothelioma for years, sometimes decades, even after their doctors told them they had months to live. Let me show you what I mean. Take Anthony. When his doctors diagnosed him, they wanted to hit him with the highest dose of chemotherapy that his body could handle. They told him he had months to live.
You know, when the doctor said, Tony, you're not gonna live more than 2 months. There's nothing can be done for you. You have thousands and thousands of tumors over every internal organ you have. Paul's book also told me that there was hope.
But Anthony said no to their plan. Instead, he chose a different path. Today, 9 years later, Anthony is still here, he is still working, he is still loving life. Now, remember, every patient's treatment decision should be made with their medical team, and I strongly recommend working with licensed healthcare providers that you trust to make the best decisions for your unique case. And Anthony isn't alone. Here's what's interesting. Okay, when we look at long-term survivors like Anthony, they all did 3 specific things. And pay attention because this is important. First, they rejected their death sentence, not emotionally, but with action. The world's longest living survivor's personal mantra was always to accept the diagnoses, but reject the prognoses. Second, they built what we call a survival team. So doctors who understand both conventional and complementary approaches. This included licensed healthcare professionals other than just their oncologist or their surgeon. And then third, they made what I call the complete lifestyle flip, changing everything from diet to mindset. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, Paul Kraus is the perfect example. When he was diagnosed in 1997, his doctors found tumors throughout his abdomen. The cancer was already advanced. His doctors told him that surgery was not an option and that chemo wouldn't cure him. They gave him just months to live. But Paul, being Paul, chose to accept the diagnoses, but reject the prognoses. So instead, he worked with doctors who understood both conventional and complementary approaches. Under strict medical supervision, he changed everything about how he ate, started specific supplement protocols. He started using alternative healing approaches like intravenous vitamin C. He used mind-body practices like meditation. He focused on strengthening his body's own immune system. And the result? Paul lived for 27 years after his diagnoses. Not only did he survive, but he lived with a good quality of life. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, all right, that's one case. All right, let me introduce you to Lewis.
I was, back in 2003 diagnosed, and I was given 6 to 12 months to get my affairs in order, as they told me. And here I am, 2021, still trying to get my affairs in order, because I wasn't ready then. And there is a quality of life. You can get through this. It is possible.
But please, let me be very clear. I am not telling you to ignore your doctors. I am not saying that what worked for Paul, Anthony, Lewis will work for you. Every case is different. There are no guarantees with mesothelioma. What I am saying is this. These survivors proved that living with mesothelioma is possible, and you're in luck. Because remember that guy, Paul, that I told you about, the man who became the longest living survivor in the world? Well, he wrote down everything that he did to survive over the years, and he put it all in a book. And it's called Surviving Mesothelioma, A Patient's Guide. It quickly became a bestseller, and now over 18,000 mesothelioma patients have their copy. Okay, listen to what Gail, another survivor, said about this book.
And this book gave me such hope and inspiration to hear this story and know that people can survive for so long with this terrible, terrible disease. It gave me diet and exercises and supplements and vitamins and hope above all.
Look, if you or a loved one has mesothelioma, you need this book. It will provide you with hope, inspiration, and best of all, the knowledge of what other mesothelioma survivors have done to help themselves. And just remember to share this information with your doctor. All you have to do now is click the link in the description, tell us where to send it, and we'll ship it to your door overnight, no catch, no strings attached, no credit card required. We'll even cover the shipping. Remember, while there might not be a cure yet, some patients are finding ways to live with mesothelioma for years or even decades. The question is, what will you do with this information? I hope this brings a little extra hope to your day. And if it did, please give this video a thumbs up and please share it with somebody who needs it. As always, stay strong, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.